Hopefully my audio sounds alright. Should be. Okay. Hello everybody and welcome to the JH Show. We are back with another fun week. I got a brand new avatar. He's hot. I love it. It's great. I did a lot of customization on this. It was fun. A lot of fun to actually have something to call your own. I think Jaden's probably working on an Abby, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Working on avatars is so much fun, especially when you can customize every little detail. It's pretty wild. I enjoy it, and I know Tiger really likes custom avies as well. So
I've messed with a couple, nothing too crazy though.
yeah, do you just buy them Do you pre-order or how does that work? I guess it's the
I
same
usually
process
just kind of take them as they are.
Yeah.
In most cases, I usually pick avatars that have minimum edits. That's just because my scope of being able to edit isn't that huge.
Yeah. No, it is fun because you can really, once you learn the basics.
I can see your
and do all
toes
kinds
under
of
the
stuff.
table.
I know, shush. That's the one fault that this avatar's creator failed to do was, fix that. But yeah, the toes are a little screwed up, but.
And your arms look so shiny, you could probably shove them up a butt. But I'll stop there, just for your sake.
I don't really know how to change that. You might be able to help me with that, but.
It's a shader.
Oh, okay. Well, I'll have to tone that shit down. I look like a Barbie now that
I don't know, is your avatar being
out.
shirtless look that lubed too?
I don't know, actually.
Are you because your face isn't Ken doll shiny?
No, it's not.
Are your titties shiny?
I don't know. Why do you ask? What the fuck?
Just curious. Okay, my bad. Jeez, so self-conscious.
I am all the time, and you know this.
About your external VR persona.
No. What? Nah. I'm just we're in public right now in a way. This is live.
What?
This is live.
Yeah,
right now.
I know.
Yeah. So.
You asked me to do this, and I've been drinking. That's your fault.
Okay, fair enough. I'm high, so that helps. Austin's here, ladies and gentlemen. How you doing? That's good. Austin's back. How you been?
I mean, just can't date anybody to save my life.
Yeah.
If it makes you feel any better, I'll make sure if I want to date anybody, I'll bring them to you so you can scare them with your gun.
Look, listen, okay.
It takes.
I'm all about
work.
I'm all about safety. So the first rule of gun safety is to have fun.
Yeah, that's.
Have you seen that Bert
one of the
Kreischer
most
bit where he
important.
talks about walking around in his underwear with a glass of Jack and his fucking gun? Walking around his fucking. Yeah,
got a
he's
flashlight,
he almost shot his
just-
dog
Oh.
once. It scared the shit out of him, but he doesn't keep his gun loaded.
That's
He's
great.
like, I don't know how this thing works, but I just carry that shit around everywhere.
Yeah.
Hell yeah, I would too. Well, I who says I don't? But
Or those people that have the laser sights on their gun and they
Right.
use it to have their cat chase it, and they're like, "This motherfucker wants to die."
It's terrible. I don't know. There are some really cringe. We could talk about that, like gun owners, bro. There are some people that should not have guns. You know what I mean? In the yeehaw country, holy shit.
Bitch, I live in the yeehaw. There are many people
That
that
is-
shouldn't have guns.
That is an attack on us both, and I think Tiger Tan and I can admit we've done some really stupid shit at 3 a.m.
Yeah.
No, I've
that
never
was
been in a
fun.
household where anybody ever had weapons. Other than my dad had a compound bow that I used to play with a bit, but never anything huge. It was really hard for me to draw. It took a lot of strength.
Yeah.
But no, never had weapons in our household, mostly just because I had two high-functioning autistic brothers, but they were pretty unpredictable, so having weaponry in the house wasn't really much of an option.
Yeah.
For the sake of safety and concern. I want to learn how to shoot now that my arm's better, but everyone that was ever supposed to take me never did.
I'll take you.
Hey.
Yeah. No, it's I was gonna say that shooting, hunting, that shit's fun. But how did we get to this? What the fuck? Jesus.
Oh, because the first time I ever met Austin, he had the shotgun in his lap while we were doing a video podcast. First time I ever met him, and I was like, I feel like I have to ask you if you're my dad if I can go out on a date.
Don't short sell me. It was an AK.
Okay, my bad. I
What's
was
wrong
pretty
with the
stoned.
shotgun? What's wrong with
It
this
was my
shotgun? Shotguns are great.
I just bought an over under. I bought a Mossberg Gold Reserve. I'm just
That's
stating
true.
the
Oh
facts of the
man, wait,
matter.
you have a gold reserve over under?
Yeah,
What?
yeah,
Damn.
yeah. Yeah, I
Damn
paid
boy. That's
$700
a
for it, and
yeah, that's a nice one.
there's a fun story behind that.
That's a pretty gun. I like that one. I have side by double barrel Moss.
Yeah,
What is it? Moss.
Stoker.
Moss. What is it? I can't think of the name.
Do you want to post it or do
Anyway,
you want me to post it in Party Zone?
what's that? Oh, the podcast. Yeah, you could
Mhm.
you could post it. But yeah, for those of you watching right now, hello, how you doing? We're cozy. We're pretty high right now. Things are good. But yeah, if you guys could do us a favor, make sure you follow us on our socials, and then kind of like tell people about the podcast. You know, it's the kind of the word of mouth that I've seen lately that has kind of helped it start to grow a little bit, which is really, really important. So that would help. Thank you.
Alright,
Um, but yeah, tell people about it.
I
This
put it
show's
up.
great. Thank you. Thank you.
Mhm.
Appreciate it. Um, so we were gonna talk about VR models, and Jaden, you're uploading one right now.
Yeah.
Okay, is it pretty hefty? Cause this avatar I have was pretty hefty. I was like, wow, this is taking forever to upload.
Well,
I'm
I
actually
haven't fixed it yet. Like, I have to fix something first. Like, it's all meaning I'm missing a lot of shit on it, apparently. So.
like
Auto
for mine
fixing.
right now, I'm trying to get her down to be Quest compatible
Yeah.
and to be higher because for like certain events that's needed,
Right.
even for like dancers.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But
we went to this big thing, and there was like 130 people in the server, and if you
Jesus.
had anything above medium, they kicked you, or they didn't kick you, but they strongly demanded that you change. Because I mean, 130
Really?
people in a server, dude.
Oh yeah, that's true. That's a lot. So speaking of which, of 130 people or more, I'm playing another festival, ladies and gentlemen. We got another one
Let's
coming
go.
up. Let's go.
And it's for
It
a really
is.
good cause.
It is for a really good cause. Autism awareness. It's from the 28th of this month through the 4th. It's a whole fucking week. A whole week. It's probably the biggest festival I've ever seen in VR. It's crazy. There's so many fucking DJs. It is a whole week long. I was like, holy shit. But yeah, I'm honored to DJ for it. I get an hour slot on. No, I have a 2 hour slot. Oh shit! I have a
Wow.
2 hour slot. That's right. I do have a 2 hour
Yes.
slot on the 30th. So look forward to that on my Twitch, twitch.tv/GearboltGaming, right there.
And by the 30th, you mean the 30th of March?
Yeah, this month.
Okay, so that's 30th of
Through the
March.
4th of April. 28th
Yeah.
of March through the 4th of April.
Yes, thank you.
Okay.
Thank you for that. Yeah. So, yeah, so it starts on 28th of the end of this month, and then goes through the 4th of next, and it's going to be great. It's going to be great. It's for a good cause. I can't wait to see, because I was part of the Mend Your Mind festival, and that was just amazing. And I think it sparked a light in a lot of people that we want to do these events. We want to do these giant events for a charity, and it's starting to blow up now, and I love to see that. This is the kind of fucking thing we need as people that are in VR, and like this is perfect because it goes to show that us gamer nerds are actually doing something good for the world.
Now, how is there the charity? Do you raise money, right? So how
Yeah.
do we donate? How do
Yeah,
we donate or
so-
contribute to that? Is it just by showing up? Is it by telling people?
So in any of
you
the on any DJs on that list, they're gonna have on their overlay will be all the info you need for donations and everything. So when you're watching if you watch it from Twitch, it'll be on their overlay, so you'll be able to see everything where to go and what to do for
Free
donations.
DJ will have links and overlays to the festival, to the current donations, links to the other DJs.
Right.
Essentially, they will pass through each other, and all of them will have the same link up for the donation individually on their Twitch sites for the event.
And a lot of times, these events are usually ran through one Twitch or one streaming service, and it's usually broadcast on Twitch. So, they'll probably have a Twitch running for this event, and then they'll have the DJs will probably, depending on the way they do it, the DJs will just individually go on as it's their time,
and they'll all stream it through the main, essentially, one-run program. They're all going to run it through the same thing, just transition between everybody, and everybody individually will have their streams.
You know what's crazy about this event? There are 20 DJs a day. Like, 20 DJs a day. They have the first, early morning, and then they have the afternoon. They do it the whole day. It's pretty wild.
What's your time slot?
My time slot, actually, let me look right now, because I had it pulled up just barely. This is gonna be cool. I'm really excited. These events I think are really important for kind of getting awareness of these events as well. Sometimes obviously I'm gonna tell people right now, these events are very adult. They're not for the faint of heart.
Well, I would say the biggest thing is people, the line of understanding for the actual awareness of these things.
Right.
Because obviously there are a lot of people who have a lot of detrimental mental health problems.
Right.
And, need help for things like autism or being on the spectrum. And then there's people who abuse that system to cry wolf. So there's a fine line along, what's an excuse versus what's reasonable. And that's really particularly hard within the mental health industry. So spreading awareness for true mental health and other issues is really important.
Yeah, you mentioned that. So I have, I struggle with depression, anxiety, and all that stuff. Do you think that in today's society, because there's a lot more awareness, right? But do you think that there's a lot of missed self-diagnosis? Because I see that a lot,
I see
missed
self-diagnosis, but I think the worst part is people tend to self-diagnose. That's the worst thing you could do. You could think it's one thing, convince yourself so hard you put yourself essentially in the placebo. When it doesn't take too much, and when you overthink, it's like when people go on WebMD with a cough and then they think they have they're dying or they have something you can look at your symptoms and you can reflect upon yourself, but I don't think self-diagnosis is necessarily always the best thing unless you are just so hyper aware and knowledgeable.
Just to kind of cut into that, sorry. My set starts 12 p.m. EDT. I'm not sure what that is. Probably Eastern.
Eastern dance time.
Eastern dance time? I don't know. EDT. So the time zones are really weird. British Standard Time. I mean, so this thing is pretty big. I mean, VR chat's, global now. So this is in some really weird time zones. British Standard, CEST, EDT, and PDT are the time zones. So I'm not sure what those are, but so 7 p.m. British Standard, I believe that's what that is. Then it's 8 p.m. CEST, 12 p.m. EDT, and then 9 a.m. PDT. So they're all over the place time zones, but that's because this is being broadcast.
PDT is Pacific time.
Okay.
That's gonna be 3 hours earlier than you, 2 hours earlier than me.
Okay. And actually, I'll just post this in. Well, I don't know what you mean. This event is gonna be huge, and it goes for days, bro. It's a whole week. It's just a whole week. Let me actually post this in General Talk. So this is my time slot. Files are too powerful. Excuse me.
Oh, if you took a screenshot of it, your best thing is to re-screenshot it from your library. If you took a picture of it, and it'll resend as a smaller file. It's really stupid. I do this all the time because I do my rent on my computer. So I take a picture of it with my phone, and that's too big to send on Discord. So I screenshot the photo I took, and then it will send because it's smaller.
Oh, really? That's funny.
Yeah.
I could do that.
That'll do it.
That's really weird.
Yeah.
Maybe
I guess it's the
it's
way
just
like
an image. I don't know why.
Yeah.
That is really weird.
It's stupid, but you know.
Yeah.
In times like this, they're questionable. You look to Jaded. Remember, boobs.
Boobs are great. I don't think we've showed that off on the podcast, and I think it's.
I thought we made it an emote. Didn't you make it an emote?
We haven't made it an emote yet. I keep forgetting to do that. So, let me, ladies and gentlemen, if you want to show it
to the people.
Look at this. I don't know. Yeah, you guys can see
I don't remember. It was like 5 podcasts. Because I remember I was
amazing.
there for that. I was there for that podcast where we had this happen.
I could look at this all day and it just makes me happy.
I could too, not gonna lie. It's pretty hot.
It is fucking hilarious, bro. Boobs.
We could put like a shirtless picture of like David Hasselhoff next to him or something, you know?
Fucking
Make a hot boy band wall, put a Jesse McCartney poster up there, it'll fit right in.
Tiger pointed out that if you look down this mirror, they're staring at each other, and I'm like, oh, I gotta slide them together now, dude. It was great. It was great. Yeah, that was one of my favorite moments from the podcast. Was just.
Hi, Zach.
Oh, Zach's in the chat?
He's in the chat on the Twitch.
Oh, I love that dude. He's great.
I know you do. You love him and his laugh.
He makes me very happy.
You were there when him and Heckers like fought over Nyx, and like there was that huge call. Oh, there was that call where I was like super drunk and everyone was shirtless. I love my life. My life is great.
Yeah, it was.
That sounds so bad without context.
Jaden, where are you?
I was drunk. People were shirtless. Life is great. What can I say?
Exactly. Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, what more could you ask for?
Oh, dude.
There was like 7 of us watching Brooklyn Nine-Nine.
Yeah, that was.
And everybody was either drunk or high, and all the guys were shirtless.
God! Didn't we have an event that night too? I think we had an event, and then we all got just.
We all just got hammered in Discord because we all were just like, "There's nothing going on," so we all just ended up in a Discord call.
It was great. We need to like. I actually really enjoyed when we played those Jackbox games. I really kind of want to do that.
I used to have them go every Saturday before we had events, but like people just didn't come enough to have it be worth it. Because you need 6 to 8 people for all those games to run nicely or even successful.
Right. Yeah. So that was, those were fun, but I think, just let people know and see if anyone shows up. A lot of times, like, it's a good idea, but
I can try to get them back running up on Saturdays before events, pre-game party games.
Yeah. It's really hard for me now because now before sets I literally have to prepare everything and get everything set up for the sets, so it takes a while.
You're still on one board, right? How's that working?
Yeah, I'm running half a soundboard right now, so that's great. It's not terrible. I make it work. It's just the transitions don't work. You can't really do much except fade outs with without a crossfader and all. It sucks. So anyway. But yeah, I'm gonna get a new board at some point. I'm probably gonna do this set, and hopefully, just after that, once I get financially where I need to be, I can get a new board. But I'm gonna run on half. I can make it work. It's not gonna be the best, but it'll still be quite the experience for a lot of people. I love these festivals because it gives me a chance to try and see. Not only like a bunch of friends, because I meet a lot of DJs in VR chat. I know a lot of people, and I can't wait for this because I get to meet more DJs. And then on top of that is like I love just being able to be a part of something like this, especially for the cause. That's awesome. and it's an honor for me, and I love it. So this is also a test of your, you get to really see your competition, if you will. You know what I mean? There's a lot of good DJs.
Just giggling over your humble brag. So...
My humble brag? What do you mean? This is really cool. I've been excited about this.
I know
for
it
a
is,
while.
Mr. Mayor.
Okay. Apparently
Literally
I'm the
on
mayor.
VR chat, everyone.
Okay. No, stop.
They got
I'm
the toes
not.
peeking through, so you.
Oh
I
my
know, right?
God.
You know he's serious.
Nah. Jesus.
It's already.
My toes
You know
are
those
peeking through. I
videos of
just
like those
noticed
broken
that.
van shoes and they use it to eat chips because they draw a little face on it?
Oh.
Yeah, where like the front of the shoe opens. That's
Oh
what this
my
makes me
God.
think of. I'm gonna refill my drink. Ah.
Jesus Christ. 420 cheers, ladies and gentlemen. We are.
Yay.
I love how this podcast literally doesn't have like we literally just do stuff. We just sit here, get high as fuck, and talk about shit, and it's great. We gotta get some more guests on though. I really want to get more guests on. I'm trying to think. Actually, I would love to have Zach on. That would be so much fun. We need to get him on. What? Did it happen?
I can make it happen.
Oh, we can make it happen. Oh, that would be fun. Okay, she's in the kitchen. All right. Well, yeah, we need to get Zach on because he popped into Jaden. Jaden, you remember that, right? Zach came into one of our
Yeah.
streams. Yeah, and we were like, we're doing a podcast. He's like, oh, okay. Yeah. So I think I think his audio is in one of the fucking. Or no, I don't think we'd started the podcast yet. Maybe we did. I don't remember. I'm usually high when we do these things, but yeah, we need to get Zach on.
There, so if you want, you'd have to remember.
Yeah. But anyway. So I might go to Vegas. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Always a good idea.
Yeah. I've been thinking about it pretty heavily because I got a bit of money coming my way, and
Yeah, and your turntable and
know.
everything and your responsibilities and all that
Yeah.
kind of stuff.
it'd be covered. So when I say a bit of money, it's a good chunk of money, so I'm pretty happy about it. But I kind of want to go to Vegas because my roommate, he works for Hilton, and he can get us a pretty good deal on a room, and I mean like a really good deal for a weekend stay in Vegas, especially this time of year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Spring break and all that
Spring,
shit.
yeah. No, I'm pretty excited. So he's like, yeah, we can go whenever you want. Just pick a day, save up some money. We'll go down there and just have a good time. I'm like, fucking shit. He wants to go too because it's hard to get my roommates out of the house. But a weekend getaway would be so much fun.
I mean, I prefer like I'm not a gambling person. Like Vegas, like there's a lot of fun and like experience you can have. Like that week I went up and hung out with Lab. Best week ever. I just got to home cook the whole week.
Yeah.
Like I got to be appreciated.
No,
I packed
I
all
love
the bowls.
it.
We got high as
See,
shit.
I love Vegas
like-
because I play poker like crazy, and I love it.
See,
Poker
I don't
is so
like.
much fun.
I could play slots for a while, but like it's not something that I would just have fun there doing for endless hours. I mean, drinking,
Yeah,
sure,
no,
slots are
no,
fun. I'm sure
obviously,
they're enticing.
like an hour or two max. You don't spend all day in there because you can't.
I have never gambled, not once. Not
Really?
even,
I would
like,
just spend
not
too much
even,
on
like,
food.
on anything.
Really?
Like,
I went.
Oh, good for you.
One of my former managers was she ran one of those illegal arcade things,
yeah.
and she said, "Look, I'll let you try one on my dime. If you win, the money's yours." And I still refused.
Huh?
Makes sense.
I just,
It's one of those things. Like I highly respect you for just being like no.
I mean, yeah, it's not for
it's
everybody.
not for everybody.
So I get that, but it is a blast. I have fun with it because here's the thing. Here's what?
When you back up just enough out of my camera view, the hair on your head disappears and you were bald.
On your camera view?
On my perspective, from my avatar view, you went bald for like a couple of seconds.
Are you blind? You blind woman? She's blind. But yeah, no.
You did it again! Like, if I catch you at just the right angle next to me, you go, like, bald.
That's funny. Yeah. What were
Your whole back of your head disappeared.
Okay.
And your glasses.
It's gotta be on your end. It's fine on mine. I don't know what you're talking about.
It's what your avatar is loading within my perspective. Like, you're cut in half along your avatar because you're out of the corner of my eye.
Oh, just through the fucking... Gotcha.
Yeah, just through my viewpoint because the way it's angled at you. It's like when you look at a mirror at a certain angle and something looks funny.
All right. Yo, mirrors freak me out. I'm not gonna lie. Anyone else? Jaden?
Puddles of Water did after I watched the second or third Poltergeist movie.
Yeah, mirrors kind of freak me out, but they're cool.
Did you ever watch the movie Mirrors? Where
yeah,
I watched that at a Halloween slumber party when I was like 14.
I was like, what
it fucked
the fuck?
everybody up. I felt so bad because me and my mom watch horror movies all the time, and I must have traumatized all these other little girls.
We could let's talk about horror movies. I don't know if we have before on this podcast, but
no, we have not.
Oh man, I could talk horror movies all the time. I fucking love them, but there are some out there that I'm like, Jesus Christ, who makes this shit? You know?
What was that? So there was one horror movie made in Japan, and it was, I think, the 80s or 90s, but it was all practical effects, and they did such a good job. Charlie Sheen, supposedly, from the source I read, which could be bullshit, he called the police and said he was watching people die in a movie, and it looked like they were really getting murdered.
Oh yeah.
And they had to prove in front of a judge that they were practical effects and that all the actors were still alive.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Charlie Sheen thought Guinea Pig 2 was a snuff film.
Yeah.
Fueled the urban legend in 1991 when he reported it to the Federal Bureau of Investigation under the mistaken belief that he was looking at a genuine snuff film.
That's crazy.
The notoriously violent film, the full title of which is Guinea Pig 2, The Flower of Flesh and Blood, was released in 1985.
That's crazy
and
that
was
shit.
based on a creator's manga comics.
Yeah. It's crazy that you know...
It's a 5-film series? Jesus.
That is crazy. There are some movies that are... those practical effects, like you're saying, there's some shit out there that it just looks real, and it's like, Jesus Christ.
There are some movies that are just so simple.
Right.
That doesn't need
Hereditary.
Like the jump scare, like the nuances, like the things where you can just create full atmosphere without necessarily having to do anything.
Hereditary, bro.
Never saw it.
Oh my god, that movie fucked me up. Oh my god, that movie fucked me up.
I will say it again. Sinister. I loved the idea. Like, the second movie definitely wasn't as good, but the idea and the whole first movie, I fell in love with.
I like the it's a trilogy. No, there's 4
Insidious?
movies. Insidious, yes.
Insidious was fucking
yeah, then there's like the Annabelles and everything else.
Those were okay, I followed that whole story.
Similar thing happened with Cannibal Holocaust. Alright, come here, Google.
Sounds like a hell of a band.
Yeah, Jesus. Cannibal
My
Holocaust.
all-time favorite
was a 1980 Italian cannibal horror film.
Oh my god.
Oh, fuck! I think I know what this movie is. Yeah, who's a team into the animal... Okay, so there's this really fucked up movie. This is what I think it is. Essentially, there's, like, this girl... It's a different one. This is definitely older. But essentially, these kids go on, like, a venture to help save the rainforest or whatever. And they try to stop the machines and tie themselves to trees, and they find a tribe that essentially kills everyone they're with, and one person makes it out. But
what the fuck?
It's I forget what it was called. There's some pretty. Oh my god, there has never been a movie more fucked up than Red Dot. It's a Swedish film.
I've heard about this.
It's on Netflix. When
Nah.
Snowmageddon hit Texas,
I can't with that shit.
We all went over to Nix's family's house, and his mom put it on.
Nah.
And I still mentally have not recovered from this movie.
No, it's not okay. Don't watch it. Now people are gonna watch it.
It's awful, but it's such a good movie.
Yeah.
It's so good.
What was that, Austin? What's your favorite?
My all-time favorite series is the Alien series.
Oh yeah,
Not
classic.
Those are
Whatever the
good.
fuck.
The first one. Yeah, the first ones. Those are great. Those are classics.
You know she's 6 feet tall. She's
Yeah,
huge.
she's big. Sigourney Weaver was like one of the hottest women of her era. My dad said that she was America's like babe. Like damn. But
it's just crazy to think of what they did for those movies.
Oh
as
yeah.
early as they did, because you watch them today and they still hold up.
They still hold up.
Like,
I mean, the
amazing.
biggest one I could say is something like that is something like Star Wars, things where they built giant model piece replicas and pieced them all together, and for what it was still beyond where it should have been. Like, there is so much work put into those makeup, those casts, like all of the costuming, the accessories. Like, there's so much that they did beyond what they had to do.
But like now, that brings me into something I want to ask you guys and get your opinion on. So you see all these commercials to these horror movies, and they all play the same, they all sound the same, and they all look the same, right? But
there's
in recent years, from I would say 2005 to now, have there been any like good, actually scary movies that are worth
I have one, but it's not like a truly scary movie. Sometimes me and my mom just shit around and we're like, all right, this got a bad rating on Netflix. Let's watch it.
I think this movie came out. There's one. I think it's called I don't know if it's called The Omen. Let me see if I can find it. It's pretty fucked up.
I think it's The Omen. But there's this movie called Homebound that came out in 2013. And it's one of those stupid ones where it's just like, it's...
Remember the...
It's like stupid comedy. It's like a... How do I put it? It's kind of... I wouldn't put it with like Rocky Horror, but it's one of those like stupid, funny, scary movies. Like, it's not like bad, like scary movie. Like, there is intense, there's still jump scare, but it all has decent comedic value behind it. It's not a great movie. It's not... Like, I thoroughly enjoyed it.
Yeah. No,
we watched the new Halloween movie, right?
Yeah, I did too.
I have never seen a Halloween movie.
You know,
I've never seen a Scream movie. I have never watched a Saw movie.
In the first Halloween movie, if I'm remembering the right series, there's no blood in that entire movie.
No scene had.
I can't remember. There was one movie. I think it was one of those stupid horror movies where like some girl like stabs herself in the who's it with a cross. That's the nicest way I can put it.
I don't know.
Oh, Scary Movie. Those fucking ridiculous things.
Those
and then Final Destinations.
Final Destination kind of fucked me up mentally.
I've never watched one, but I know about the scene where all the logs are in the back of the car.
Yeah.
Because I never watched Saw, but I saw the scene where the two guys like cut the woman in half instead of fighting over her.
Listen, Jaden, have you seen those movies?
I refuse to watch. I don't do shit that's like violently gory.
Nah, bro. I watched that whole series by myself in my room, and I was sitting there like, I'm never gonna leave the house again. Fuck.
That's how I felt about the Poltergeist movies, because I looked exactly
like her. It really kind of fucked
Tiny,
me
itty
up.
bitty, blue eyes, bangs, long platinum hair, like the whole shebang.
We need to pay credit where credit is due. But remember, like, the zombies bang we had in, like...
Walking Dead,
like,
yeah.
There was a new movie with, who's the buff guy in Guardians of the Galaxy? He's a wrestler, forget his name.
Oh,
what was that?
Drax,
Army of the Dead.
Army of the Dead, yeah. I saw that one. That one wasn't bad. That was actually
I ended up watching it with my dad. I actually thought it, for what it was, like...
It was actually pretty good, yeah.
It's one of those ones where it doesn't have the ending you'd expect. Like, you always want a happy ending. And I feel like it's one of those movies that gives you a lot of resolve by, being honest and where it kind of leads. And they did leave it kind of open-ended. Like, if they made a second movie, I would watch it and I wouldn't be mad about it.
Yeah.
Like...
The Resident Evil that came out recently was actually really great. I actually enjoyed it.
I haven't watched it, but I rewatched all of the originals not that long ago. Like, seven of them.
Yeah, there's a bunch.
See, I like the Japanese animated ones because they stick with the game storyline, the inspiration.
Right.
Yeah.
Kind of like you've got the games, and then it kind of fills in the gap of the stories between the games.
See, like, I have the game that I like the best is not a game that's really part of the storyline, which would be the fourth game, which is when you go to Spain to rescue the president's daughter, and it's the first technical time in the timeline of the virus that it doesn't mutate within itself because there's Las Plagas. Technically, they merge together, and it becomes the first mutant form of the T virus.
It's Resident Evil 4, which is on VR. If you haven't played it, it's...
I have it for my PS2.
A lot of the ported over games are terrible.
Yes.
But they just did such a good job on this one, and they didn't like make something new out of it. They just
it makes me wonder. They redid all the other games. If I'm kind of like excited and expected to see if they will redo that, because anyone who ever played it, usually from me knowing them, that's their favorite game. Like for me personally, it's my favorite Resident Evil game.
I mean, Resident Evil 7 was huge. Everyone played it. You know, like, I mean, that was big. Or Village, right? Village, bro.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. And it was a great game. I enjoyed it. It was fun. It wasn't as scary.
I think 9 is where they got off base.
Yeah.
9 is where they had, like, cloning Ada, and they had, like, 3 other storylines going up at the same time.
It's kind of weird.
But then they started, redoing the games, and I would be really excited to see if they did a remake of 4.
Because
there's another village-based game, and that's Outlast 2.
Oh yeah,
I never got the Outlast games.
Outlast
I heard
is fun.
about them.
Outlast is one of my favorites.
Sanatorium.
Yeah, Outlast 2 is one of my favorites because you're in the
Outlast 2.
Yeah,
took it to outside of the bounds of the tight corridors.
Yeah,
and instead put you in a wider environment.
Yeah,
but they added a lot more threats to it.
Yeah,
and the characters are so grotesque. Like it's a cult basically.
It's nasty.
Just like it's just like Resident Evil Village. And
it's gross.
You go, and like the cult leader is this like 1,000-pound hideous, grit covered man, and he's so twisted.
Yeah,
and he's so. The ending of what happens to that guy is filthy. It's disgusting.
Yeah.
I want to say, just in general, humans are awful.
Yeah, like what the fuck?
Me and Gear exclusively watch a lot of Criminal Minds and a lot of similar shows like that. I've been watching Law and Order. Like, what a human is capable of when they have like no morality or just there's so many things.
Well, and that's what these games and movies and stuff, because tying it all the way back to horror, because the horror genre has inspired so many things, and it started years ago. The Tony Hinchcliffe, or not Tony, who's the fucking the horror writer? I can't think of his name.
Stephen King.
Well, there's Stephen King. Stephen King was huge. I mean, look how many movies have been done based on.
I think my mom's read every one of his books.
Alfred Hitchcock?
Alfred Hitchcock, thank you. Yeah, that's the one. That's like the OG. Him, Stephen King, they're like the OGs.
Mm-hmm.
And their work is highly respected and still replicated to this day. You'll still see the footmark, like the footprint.
Stephen King did so much cocaine. He doesn't remember writing most of the things he did.
Yeah,
like his super successes, he doesn't remember a thing.
Yeah.
So you're telling me if I do enough cocaine, I can forget my past?
Yes.
Yeah, you can.
We do not condone that here.
We don't condone that.
Do not condone cocaine here.
No, but
Smoke weed every day, drop acid, but don't do coke.
Yeah. I don't tell people, we don't condone that. Just saying.
No.
We are.
Sorry,
we don't condone.
Do as we say, not as we do.
Right.
All I do is read the Bible and repent. That's all.
Yeah.
That's my only activity. This isn't even me.
I go to church and I look at.
Butts.
No, nuns. Slutty nuns. I mean, that's. Yeah, I go to church, right? No,
do you remember when I was making all those posts and I was tripping balls with Lab? And we were watching this music video for this one song, and it's like a mix of all this video game stuff, and there's just this repeating theme of sexy nuns, and eventually it becomes like some video game intro to something to do with Hitman.
Oh, that's funny.
We were both stoned as shit, and we were like, oh no,
I know
the
exactly
sexy
what
nuns,
song,
and Lab was like,
exactly
oh no, they have their own cutscenes. Like, it was...
Yeah. No, that's I'll send you that video later. I'll send you that video later. I know exactly what video you're talking about. It's a song. Yeah,
it's a group of nuns.
Yeah,
in a
no,
Yeah.
I have it.
and
I'm just saying
they're
we
like a
watched it
murder
high as
group.
fuck because most of my I have a 12-hour playlist. I never watch the videos for those. I always just listen to the music because I'm
Yeah, the
usually playing them in
videos are
VR.
trippy. There's some
We got
really
stoned
trippy
as
ones.
shit
Have you seen
and
that
then
one?
watch through all the
Yeah.
videos for all of those things.
Yeah, that one's great. That one fucked me up. I was like, what the fuck? Whoa. Because they start like
It
swaying
fucked
and
us
shit.
up because we were fucked up.
Yeah. What's the name of that song?
Give me like
I,
a minute. Let me see if I can find it in my
I
YouTube
think
music.
I have it in my YouTube playlist, but yeah, there's some
I have it in
crazy
mine.
stuff. Yeah, try and find that. That's one of my favorite songs. But getting back to horror, let's talk about like the respective like the what series I think stand out the most and as far as like some of the most praised horror franchises.
George Romero's
Which one do you think? George Romero?
Night of the Living Dead
Yeah.
was so ahead of its time.
That's
It literally made
Oh!
people sick in the theater and they left.
Yeah.
They
Not-
used they went to a butcher and got real parts for
Yeah.
these actors to eat, and it was super low budget. I mean, like basically a home video.
Right.
And
At the
it
time.
spawned this whole gore
Right.
genre. So not just zombies, not just, and they never referred to it as zombies.
Night of the Living
That
Dead's a
wasn't-
good one. That is definitely up there. What was that?
And-
Tiger.
Oh, like not a horror, like a funny horror series that was really good that I finished rewatching. Or actually, because I hadn't watched the second movie in it, is Shaun of the Dead, Hot Fuzz,
yeah.
and The End of the World.
Yeah.
All fantastic.
Yeah.
All have the fence scene. If you don't know what that is, watch them all. Learn what it is.
Fucking dude.
But I love them. I actually saw a picture of them recently on social media somewhere. Someone had posted that they just went and hung out.
That's
Recently,
fun.
there's a picture of them together, and I was just like, holy shit, I gotta watch all these again.
Yeah.
Because I had never seen Hot
Shaun-
Fuzz before.
Hot Fuzz is funny. Yeah. There are those, but that's the thing, how much the genre has changed. I've seen it I think our lifetime we saw the kind of giant wave of different branches that are possibilities of horror franchises, right?
Well,
Because
I
you
think,
have
like being
there's
unbridled in what you're able to show now. Like,
Right.
there's always things that were scary, but now they delve into
Now they're
specific, like,
deep into
psychological
it. Yeah,
horrors and all
so
these things.
you take a look at like first off you had like the OG stuff like Night of the Living Dead, it's scary shit for the time. Then you had like you saw slashers started popping off in the 80s. You had the
I have a really good
Friday
point
the
to make.
13th, all that.
We had,
Now
we had serial killers.
Right.
Like, I think they
Right.
represent their time. Like,
right
if you look back at it,
The
you've got
80s.
the starts, like Alfred
I-
Hitchcock or Romero. But then,
I can.
what was scary in the 90s?
the
You got to the 80s. What was the 90s?
90s. I'm trying to think. Oh yeah. This is where we started getting computer shit. We started seeing the tech side of things. Like so, 90s.
It wasn't
into
like that Nightmare on
2000s.
Elm Street, Jason,
Um,
the Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Wasn't that all 90s?
Yeah,
80s,
I think
90s?
so. 80. I thought that no. So the first Friday the 13th came out in like 73, I think.
Okay, I know I've only
Yeah,
seen the newer
so-
ones, but I want to pinpoint something. Is that horror evolved because we evolved, and I feel like this is a really good example because my mom's a horror movie buff. I'm a horror movie buff. We love all the same horror movies, but when it came to watching Willy's Wonderland, I absolutely loved the movie, but my mom was like, "Oh yeah, I like fell asleep during that," and you have to think like our generation came with like FNAF and going to Chuck E. Cheese and all of these other places that ingrained some sort of, partial irrational fear in all of us. So for our generation, we all loved it. But for the older generation, like even my stepdad was like, oh yeah, that movie sucked. And I was just like, I absolutely loved this movie.
Yeah.
And that just, it shows
I don't know.
like
I
that
think
evolution
yeah,
things. Like I
we've
loved it.
kind of become
maybe-
numb to that shit for a lot of people, but depending on what you can do with it.
Sorry,
Go
I'm
ahead.
kind of lagging behind, so I cut people off.
You're
Um,
good.
Alright, I'll be right back. I'm gonna use the
You
bathroom.
guys can help me, but there's this movie, and it was on TV. I don't remember what it was, but it was like it was either a prison. I think it was a prison or something, but there was a police officer or a prison guard, something like that, and I caught the tail end of it. But one of the killer was like this cop's son, who I think was in the military, and he runs out into wherever it was to greet his son, and his son just kills him, just stabs him or something. I
Oh
don't
shit.
remember what that movie was, but I was wondering if you guys might know what I'm talking about. It's super vague, I know, but I
You
have a
caught the
vivid
tail end
memory
of
what
it?
it was. Yeah,
Huh, I don't know. No idea.
I was like 6 or 7 years old when I
I
saw
can't
this.
say. I know, but give me 5 minutes alone with Google. Let me see if I can make it talk.
Yeah. I was gonna say, so my my perspective on all of this is, you see the different genres of horror that could be possibilities start to come up, right? Especially when Blair Witch dropped, that opened up a whole nother can of worms for horror makers and horror film nuts. When you had what's the footage
Lost
called?
footage.
Lost footage. Yeah. Lost footage type movies like that. That opened a whole nother
Was
can
the
of worms.
son adopted, do you know?
Maybe it was. I think
There is one called Mikey that came out in 1992.
It may be. It was there was he was either a police officer or he was some kind of authoritative figure.
Is it a horror
And,
movie?
Yeah, for sure. It was grotesque.
There's
Oh,
The
wait a
Afflicted, and then
minute.
there's Mikey.
Wait a minute.
If you wanted to Google either of those.
Remind me after this, and I'll look
Yeah,
into
I
it.
think I know what you're talking about, Austin. Are they in a?
It's like a prison or some
Isn't
kind
it
of
a-
warehouse. It's something like that.
Is it the hotel one? Are you talking about like? It's not like
He saw
Twin
his son.
Shining.
No, it's not The Shining.
No, The Shining's good. That's one of my favorites of all time. That is such a good fucking movie. Holy
Heck, that
shit.
was insane.
Like that, for the time period, that movie fucked people up. Holy fuck. Like, that was well done. And Stephen King, his novels are fucked.
Most popular movies tagged with keyword son murders father.
Wow.
That's not.
Gladiator, It, Star Wars, Thor, X-Men.
No.
Wanted,
Yeah.
Sherlock. We
You're
need
gonna-
to talk about Kevin. Oh, Oculus was a good one. The one about the mirror.
Yeah, that fucked me
Where
up too.
she's trying to get her brother out. And
Oh my
it
god,
messes...
that fucked me up.
That movie was fucked
that
up.
movie fucked me up.
That was a
Oculus,
good
yeah. Have you
one.
seen that one?
I don't think I have.
Oh, that movie fucked me up, dude. I was like, what the fuck? Oh my god. What? Like, another thing with mirrors. Mirrors, bro.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
You want to know what was
All right.
really fucking terrifying and it wasn't a horror movie?
What?
The Dark Knight.
Yeah. For
Because
real.
the
For the
Joker,
time, he was fucking
his
evil.
character was so over the top and
Yeah.
so cartoon. He was cartoony, but
But at the
everyone's
same
like,
time,
"Oh,
it-
Heath Ledger, you cast him, really?"
Yeah.
The guy from the Night movie, and then he performs, and he's very believable.
Yeah.
Where there's no special magic powers, there's no crazy cartoony bullshit. It was an insane sociopath who just enjoyed watching people suffer for the sole reason of it. He didn't care
Yeah.
about
All right.
himself. He just wanted to prove that everyone was evil at heart, no matter what you did. And all
He's
the characters
crazy
were so
motherfucker.
real.
Yeah.
But there are people like that in this world.
Oh,
And
yeah.
we see that now with what's going on in the
Yeah.
world. And that's
I have
what
a
it
listing
Yeah.
of the
terrifying.
top
Yeah.
200 horror movies, and I will scoot down to one. Do you guys remember 28 Cloverfield Lane? Do you guys remember that movie? I remember
man.
it vaguely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think I
But-
watched it just recently. What was that movie about?
The one where they had to go into the bunkers because of the things that were attacking, and some guy trapped them in their bunker. And all right, so going based on Rotten Tomatoes, the #1 horror movie of all time is the 1960 version of Psycho.
Oh yeah, for sure.
I've
That's
never
huge.
seen any of the Psycho movies. We're gonna have to watch so many movies
Man,
after this.
I know, because they get me excited, and then I'm like, ooh, should we watch that? I don't know. Jaden, you've been quiet this whole fucking time. Where you at, bud?
No one has fucking
I miss
reached
you.
out to me. I was just
Get
like,
on
Well,
VR
you're supposed
chat.
to butt in when you have your opinion.
Get on VR
I
chat.
do, and I get talked over sometimes, so I don't.
Wow. Oh my god.
I'm not a huge horror fan, to be honest. Like, I watched a lot of horror movies with my friends in high school because that was the cool thing to do or whatever. But
Jaden, didn't you and I watch a movie in VR that was really fucked up?
I doubt it.
You doubt it?
I don't usually watch shit in VR.
Really? Ah.
Yeah.
The second movie is Get Out.
Oh,
2017.
Get Out was.
I never watched Get Out.
I never watched it, but I heard it was
It was-
fucking crazy.
It was interesting. So, just the premise without spoiling it. So,
Okay.
this guy, it's a social commentary along with what it is. So it's a mixed couple. It's a black man dating a white woman, and they go to meet her family out in. They're very wealthy. The mother is a renowned hypnotist, and the father is a psychiatrist or psychologist. And they're wealthy. There's a big estate, and the people around them just start acting bizarre, right? Like the people seem friendly, but at face value, but they're not totally. Something's not right about them,
Okay.
and so there was.
They gotta start doing horror movie nights. I want to watch all these now.
There's some
But
good
the
ones.
ending
There's
was
some
changed.
bangers.
The ending was changed, so I can spoil that ending. So crazy shit goes down, and what happened in the original ending, which it was removed. They redid it because they thought it was too far. It was too much of a statement
Yeah.
at that time because this was the height of Black Lives Matter,
Right.
and all this crazy shit goes down. But because he's a black male, the
Yeah.
police find him. You think he's getting rescued. He gets blamed for all the terrible shit that happens because he's a black man. And you cut to him in an orange jumpsuit.
Oh,
and
that's
his
the
friend
original
visiting
ending?
him in prison
That's the original ending.
because
Uh,
but that's
I
not
think
how
I
they
heard-
did it officially.
I heard about
Wait.
that. Yeah.
I just remembered that Quarantine and Paranormal Activity existed too. Y'all remember
Yep.
those?
Oh, quarantine fucked me up too.
I never watched Quarantine. I wanted
Oh,
to,
it's really
but
good.
I wasn't there yet.
It was creepy. It got. There's some movies.
If
that
we
you
end up
can
watching horror movies, if you make fun of me, I'm gonna beat you to a pulp.
make fun of you.
I'm just
Why?
stating.
Just because
'Cause
of
I
how
can be
scared
jumpy.
you get? Okay.
The ones that seem
I'm not a fan
believable-
of it. I was once sitting in my own chair. I'm watching a horror movie. My mom and dad are sitting together. My dad thinks it's fun. He just thinks it's funny to throw a decorative pumpkin that he has next to the table at me. I almost fucking rocked his shit. I was not having
Oh my god,
it.
that's amazing. She's jump scary. Write notes, ladies and gentlemen. We got
Eat a
some
bag of
dirt.
dicks.
We got some dirt. Write some notes down. Yeah.
After that is The Cabinet of Dr. Caligari, a 1919 film at number 3.
Never seen it.
Never heard of it.
Yeah.
Yes, apparently.
a
The
silent
synopsis of it, because it tells me the synopsis. A carnival out of Germany, carnival in Germany,
Of course.
Oh, carnivals. Oh, that reminds me of.
where a person encounter the crazed doctor, and the men see him showing off some of the things he's doing as a hypnotist, and
know
then predicts other people's deaths, and they come true because of the people he's hypnotized, essentially seems to be the synopsis.
You know what movie had actually some decent, really fucked up effects for like a horror type of movie was Overlord. Did you ever watch that one?
Yeah.
Wasn't that a
bro.
funny one?
No.
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 Oh, okay.
No, that
I'm
was
thinking of the
Ugh.
game.
funny
The
about
games
that
are
movie.
funny. My bad.
That movie kind of
No.
fucked me up.
It
was
was so.
Gross.
It's another one of those like zombie movies, but
Right.
it's chemical. It's kind of like Quarantine.
Right.
So Quarantine, there's one thing about holding a zombie head that's been severed and it's still trying to bite you, where we can enjoy that, but there's just like, yeah, that's not realistic. But the fact that people can be chemically driven insane,
Yeah.
and
Yeah,
physically
absolutely.
impervious to pain and
I mean,
fear,
you
and
see it
they'll
all the
attack
time, and
you.
especially like in cop shows
Yeah,
when
no.
people are like
And
high on like
actually,
PCP and they're like fucking
actually,
invincible.
You know
like
what
28
is
days
getting
later.
Yeah.
Yes.
What's World War Z? Good example.
Yes,
Like a virus.
World War
A
Z is
virus.
so good.
A virus. And then we get shit like the fucking pandemic, and then I'm like, oh my god, what the fuck happened?
Next would be
crazy.
the 2019 version of Us, which I never saw.
I never saw Us. Isn't that so? There's the first one. There was Us, and then there was what did we just mention earlier? Get Out.
Get Out.
Those are both part of
Yeah.
the same series. Yeah.
Okay, I didn't even know that.
Yeah. There's. I
Isn't
think it's.
Us
I think
sequel? The Us
Yeah.
is the next one.
Yeah.
So it's Get Out.
Get Out. Us.
And then Us.
There's a third one too. I think he's working on.
I think it's
Following
the
that
Woman's
is the 1979 Alien, obviously.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, baby.
Classic.
Have you guys seen the misprints of the Alien shirts where it says Alan because they forgot the I in Alien?
Yeah.
Speaking of aliens, have you guys watched whatever Encounters of the Fourth Kind?
I have
No.
not. I remember
Watching.
watching
actually,
The Thing. The Thing
I need
fucked
to
me
watch
up
it.
pretty good.
Oh, Thing did kind of fuck. Yeah, that was weird. Actually, it's a classic. I actually like it, but
Mhm.
The original The Thing was great. The new
Oh,
one,
okay, the original.
They changed
Speaking of the original, if you listen to it from the beginning, in the beginning, I actually learned this the other day. The people that speak to the other people, to the Americans on storm bikes were Norwegian. So if you were Norwegian, I believe it's Norwegian. You could hear them saying, "It's not a dog. Don't take it back. It's an imposter." But you'd only understand that if you knew Norwegian because they never actually put those words in English from Norwegian in the subtitles.
oh, for that.
So from the
movie?
beginning, you could have predicted the movie if you could speak the language.
Oh,
They flew in on a helicopter and were
Yes.
trying to kill this dog, and this dog is running through
right.
the Arctic.
Oh
And
shit.
these guys are This guy just they land the helicopter. They try to throw a grenade, but he drops it, and it blows up the helicopter. So the other guy just walks.
That's right. I
and starts
forgot about
shooting at
that.
this
Mhm.
dog at this compound, and the Americans walk out and they're like, "What is this guy doing?" And he just yells it at these guys in Norwegian, and he shoots
Mhm.
someone by accident, and they shoot him in the head because he's insane. It was a military.
So they never
operation.
know. And
Yeah.
that's
Never
how
knew what
the
happened.
whole roundabout
yeah.
starts. And I think it was
Crazy.
definitely one of the first ones I watched
Oh.
after Poltergeist.
It was so the It series is actually decent. I actually enjoy
I've never
it.
watched them.
The first one was really good. Second one was it was like there was some stuff they could have I don't know, made better, but overall a decent film. The first one was phenomenal, I thought. Of the new ones, perfect. Just the
I don't agree
directing and
with
everything.
Ranked one. The next, I never liked these types of movies. It's the 1933 King Kong.
Yeah.
I
mean,
never
these
watched the
are-
King Kong. I didn't watch the Godzilla. Like even Pacific
watched-
Rift was still.
I
just
watched
like
Mighty Joe Young. That was like that. I never got into Godzilla. I don't know.
I mean, after that is the 1922 Nosferatu,
Never seen
original
that.
vampire.
There's a movie that's a great concept, and you may have never heard about it. But it's a book, but it's old black and white movie, and it's kind of in line with not necessarily a horror movie, but it's very, very plausible. But it's
I
called
hate
The Most
to
Dangerous Game.
just say it, but everybody knows who Nosferatu is from SpongeBob because he was flickering the lights for the hash slinging slasher, and like only parents got that because kids definitely like my age. I didn't know who the
shit.
fuck that was.
That's who that is? Okay.
Yeah, Nosferatu is like the original vampire,
Wow.
like kind of like Dracula.
That's on the list?
Yes,
What?
1922 is number 7. This is Rotten Tomatoes, their list. After this is The Night of the
I've
Hunter,
never seen that.
which I don't know what that is,
Night
but
of the
apparently
Hunter.
it's a man who targets women because of their sexuality. Then The Invisible Man, which I have heard of many a time.
Oh, that movie fucked me up. Ugh.
I never watched it.
That
The
makes
laugh he
me.
does as he shows those
Yeah.
guys.
Yeah, bro.
It was so twisted,
But
but it's amazing.
that's a really
that-
twisted take on a serial
See,
killer.
I
Oh
don't,
my
I can't
God.
recant on this. I don't know. After that is A Quiet Place, which I
Oh,
did
yeah.
see and was phenomenal. That's what had John
need to see
Krasinski in it,
that
right?
one.
Yeah.
Isn't that the one where they take mushrooms and stuff?
No, The
No.
Quiet Place is the one where they can't make sound or they get killed. So
Oh,
they put,
yeah,
like,
yeah,
sand
No,
down.
no,
and-
that one. Yeah.
You remember
What's
it's
the
got
other one?
Jim from The Office.
Yeah. I saw that one.
Yeah.
What's the one where they? Fuck.
I
think
can't say
of it
another one
right
you're talking
now.
about. Then after that is the 1935 Bride of Frankenstein, 1975 Jaws, and then
Oh,
24
Jaws was
The
great.
Babadook.
Oh,
And The
Babadook.
Babadook was actually a decent movie. I
Yeah.
personally liked it. They had to do a lot of like
Yeah, there was a lot of suspense.
Ambiance for it.
Very
and
much.
I liked that.
Lot of
I
suspense.
wanted to kill that fucking kid in the
And then
first
there's
bit.
the
It
19
drove me up a fucking wall.
Looks like yeah, Omen. Have you guys see that one? That one was okay.
Oh, you know what's a really good one that I don't think is considered a horror movie? Independence Day. That kind of fucked me up, I'm not gonna
Really?
lie. With Will Smith, like forever go with the idea of like aliens and the guy chokes the alien chokes the dude out in the medical room while everyone just watches it happen. Like kind of like alien idea of concept.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, then there's the Lighthouse, which came out in 2019, which I never saw.
Oh yeah, that movie was good.
But he tries to
Holy shit.
keep
They
his
go
sanity while living on
insane.
a remote island
Yeah, they
doing the
go
Lighthouse.
in-
That sounds like a really good one.
They go
They went
insane.
crazy.
They go crazy. Did you see it? Yeah, that movie was really well done.
Willem Dafoe.
Willem Dafoe.
I'm gonna refill my drink, and I'm also gonna leave you with the idea of Invasion of the Body Snatchers,
Oh,
original
well.
1956 to talk about. I never saw it.
So like I was saying earlier, one of the movies it was based on a book I read for school, and I found out there's a movie and I watched it. It's called The Most Dangerous Game.
Oh yeah,
And-
yeah. I've read the book.
So if you don't know what that is, there's this couple gets stranded on this little island, and they find that there's a large estate, and this very eccentric man brings them in and says, "I'm sorry you're stuck. We can get you help." Then he goes and takes the girl, falls in love with her, of course, because it was what, the 60s.
Yeah. I
So-
think so.
The girl's always captured because boobs.
Yeah.
And then
Boobs.
and then he hunts people. So
Yeah.
the gentleman who owns the estate hunts people with a 22 caliber rifle. He
Yeah.
gives them a knife, strips them of everything, and sends them out, and gives
Yep.
them an hour to prepare. And he tries to hunt them because he was a hunter and he killed everything. But
Yeah.
he gets a thrill out of the fact that we can think and try to kill him back.
Yep.
And he enjoys that. And that's something that people have done to each other.
Yeah, it's so Criminal Minds, that's actually an episode on Criminal
Mhm.
Minds. They actually have an
Yeah.
episode on that exactly.
Or if you've ever watched Dollhouse, there's an episode where one of the
Dolls.
men who rent her
I hate dolls.
program her to be the perfect girlfriend, and then he goes to try to hunt her the morning after they spend the day together.
Yeah, and then there was an episode of that in Supernatural
Dollhouse.
too. The family.
Yeah, that's right.
Yep.
Oh,
We all watch Supernatural.
oh yeah. I love that
Sam.
show.
Dean, Sam,
Sam.
Dean.
Dean. Idiots. Fucking idiots.
Castiel.
Fucking Castiel. Yeah, that's a great
Hereditary is
show.
on this list.
Oh yeah. Oh, that movie fucked me up.
Never watched it.
Man, that's it's hard to
Oh,
watch.
did you guys ever have to watch? Was it The Fog?
Hereditary? Yeah, actually, that one fucked me up too. What the fuck?
Yeah, the one where all the fog comes outside
Aliens
the
and-
grocery store.
Yeah.
Oh, I remember that one, The Mist or whatever.
The Mist, yeah, The Mist.
I
That
watched
fucked me up.
one. I watched one. that
Let
was
the Right One In, 2008. Don't know that one.
Don't know that one.
it's- This one's super.
I failed to watch a
gross.
lot of movies.
Hmm.
It Follows, 2014.
You keep talking. I'm not trying to remember the name of this damn movie.
Yeah.
Uh,
The one you were talking about earlier, or which one?
it's a movie about a fungus that kind of takes over people, but it's really spiky. It's just it's. It's
Are
a
you
name
talking about
based
the
on
one
that.
where the trees like fight back and like make humans kill each other or kill
No,
themselves? And, like,
that's the
gruesome ways?
happening. No, that movie.
Yeah.
Is
That movie's
Um,
crazy.
no, it's
Festering Fungus,
It's a-
Cargo and the Rise of the Fungal Zombie.
no, it was a fungus,
Editor.
but it was a movie and it was kind of newer. I think it had the guy from what was he from?
The Spore,
way.
Dreamcatcher, Our
that might be
Planet.
it. Spore.
Spore. I
The
don't think
Spore
that's-
came out in 2021.
No,
Dreamcatcher came out in 2003.
no, it's like spikes or prick. It's something about
Oh.
it's
It's not
real-
Invasion, is it?
I don't know.
No,
I don't know, but we're at an hour, ladies and gentlemen. Can
I
you
mean,
believe
we can
that?
keep going. There's a lot of horror stuff to cover. Oh, The Invisible Man's on here. Silence of the Lambs.
That's a good one.
So good. Rosemary's Baby. I forgot about those.
It wasn't.
I remember
the
when they remade it.
scariest. Oh, you know what?
Census taker
Is
once
it
tried to
really?
test me. I ate his liver with its father.
Cabin in the Woods fucked me up.
Really?
I
You didn't like it? Oh my! Like I love
Austin's
that movie.
impression right there was great.
Austin, you need to get in VR, Jaden. I'm waiting for you.
Cabin in the Woods
Literally,
fucked me up.
every
Shit.
one of my files were out of date, so I've had to re-download Unity, re-download Poyomi, re-download SDK.
Okay.
All my shit's been out of date, so that's why this is taking me fucking forever.
Oh,
Fuck. Shit.
get better soon.
You're
Sorry,
here
but
in
I will be
spirit.
getting on
I'll
VR
hug
chat as
your-
soon as this thing is
I'll hug
uploaded.
your sign.
Yeah, hug
I'll
his
I'll hug your
nameplate.
sign. We'll hold your nameplate.
Aw.
That's how much we
When
love
do I
you
get a
here.
sign?
Uh,
When do I get pushed
I don't
on?
know. We gotta decide. Because here's the thing. If you're gonna be here, you gotta be here. I'm here every time because it's my show, obviously.
Mhm.
But you want that nameplate. You gotta earn it. You know. So-
I mean, I earned mine by being a sexy waffle. That's
No,
different.
I mean, yeah.
Yeah, no.
Ultimately.
You're
Very
worth
nice.
Oh
more than
wait,
that.
does
That helps.
Austin doesn't
Did
know
you know
about the
Austin
sexy
doesn't
waffle?
know? Come take a look at her nameplate over here.
Oh yeah, hold on. I
Oh
got
Christ!
Where's my sexy waffle? Give me like a hot minute to find it.
Ladies and gentlemen,
This is one of my
This.
favorite things. This is the behind the scenes of the JH show right here. All right, come out from under the table so they can see you. Here,
what
let me
the
zoom this out.
fuck?
It's
is
my
this?
sexy waffle.
All right,
It's
look at this. Look at
a
this.
waffle. For sure.
This is disgusting.
I had people flirt with me in this model, so don't even start with
What
me.
is this?
They flirted with
and
me
it's
as a
like
waffle.
it's not even like a. It reminds me of Cinnamon Toast Crunch. You know that fucking commercial, bro?
Oh yeah, the one where they like cannibalize each other.
That's exactly what that reminds me of. Like, look
But
at
yeah,
this
that's
shit.
that's the nameplate. Don't wear it out.
Your face looks like you just fucking shit in the air, and you're just.
No,
waiting
yeah,
for
yeah.
someone to
I
find out
always
about
say
it.
like my avatar looks like he just farted and he's waiting for everybody else to notice.
Yeah, that's
It's like,
the thing.
hey, do you smell
Do I smell
popcorn?
popcorn? Yeah.
Oh my god. That's great. Oh man. Good stuff. Yeah, that avatar is just fucking weird. I swear.
I have weirder. I have
know, but
the
we're talking horror movies. We're getting to weird shit. This is a fun episode. I'm gonna have to say that. We got a few people in chat. What's good, ladies and gentlemen?
Hell no.
How we doing?
What's up, devil? You're not doing this. Come here.
I
Don't you
just-
want
I
to be
don't
my
even-
friend?
Listen.
Oh, the podcast got such a horrifying view of that. I'm changing.
It's terrible. Why? Why? This is, I try to make.
I
this
get cursed
place
avatars to haunt lab
This is a
with.
safe place, and now it's been, it's been tainted. This has been tainted. This is a sanctuary. What the fuck? No. But yeah, horror movies. I have to say, there's a few genres that I think are kind of fun. Like the found footage horror. It has to be one of my favorites. For example, the
Oh, what was that one?
the one
Is that
in
like?
Paris. Fuck, I can't think of it. Catacombs.
Oh shit! The one where they're in the catacombs, where they're in the
They're in the
sewers. and they-
catacombs. What
So
the
like,
fuck is that?
and what's that one in the school? What's the one where the kids get hung in the theater room in the school, and it's like that as well?
Oh,
Because it's like the legend of like the
Why can't I
whatever's
think
haunting
of
the
it?
school.
it's what is up is down. No, fuck what?
You know what I'm talking about, though, right?
Yeah, I know, but I'm trying to think of the first movie where they're in the catacombs and they go through the 7 stories of hell.
Oh Jesus. Okay then.
I
That's
can't.
a hell of a
London.
premise.
Oh, it's crazy. That's one of my favorite movies of all time. It's a found footage.
As above, so below.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, as
Oh,
above,
God, with
so
the Paris
below.
catacombs?
Yeah.
Yes.
Holy shit. That fucked me up.
I don't know what
That fucked
possesses
me
a
up.
person to want to go. Oh fuck yeah! I want to go do that shit. Yeah, let's go.
No.
deal
What
with
the
it.
fuck?
The school
Several
one
people
I'm
have
thinking
died.
of, Kate, was the gallows.
The gallows. No, what? As above, so below. I watched that
Yeah.
alone one night. Oh my god, that was a mistake. That movie fucked me.
I
up.
watched it with my mom.
Holy
So this
shit.
is embarrassing time. when I was a kid, I had the VHS for Scooby-Doo on Zombie Island, and
Yes, I love that movie.
it
Hell
stands
yeah.
out from all the others by
Mm-hmm.
a mile.
Yeah.
Like
Well, it's that
so,
era, Scooby-Doo with the aliens, as well as Scooby-Doo and the Witch.
yeah.
Like,
Right.
though that whole era, that circle of movies was all
But
phenomenal.
it was like that's these people, the people in Louisiana, they really died. Like their characters died once they figured out their plot. These zombies were real. They were real walking corpses. And as far as a cartoon could go, they were grotesque.
Yeah.
And
Yes.
as a
Like,
kid, it scared the bejesus out of
Oh,
me. I
yeah.
haven't seen
yeah.
any
Like, as
because
good
it's
as it was,
Scooby-Doo.
because
I
it was
felt
like even the aliens and the witch were all explainable by other processes. This
Right.
was like it's the curse of Zombie Island. Like this actually, what wasn't
was-
one
it
of
was
they
pretty,
unmasked somebody. It was them.
Yeah.
like the scene,
Pretty
the
crazy.
zombie crawls up and they're trying to get
Mhm.
out of this hole they fell in.
Right.
And this thing starts to assimilate and it comes walking at them.
Yeah, there's
They
some
catch the guy
pretty good
and they
stuff in
rip
there.
its head off. And they're like,
Yes.
Jesus, fuck. Like, they lose their
Yeah,
mind.
they like toss it around like cartoony, but it's still like it's a zombie. It's paranormally alive and sentient and could do actual
it was
harm.
a weird turn. It was a weird turn for the Scooby-Doo series for me. I was like, oh, okay.
I have all the
had-
movies.
I
I
had
have the
paranormal
singing
shit.
stocking. I have the
Yeah.
baby blanket. Like
No, I like
Scooby-Doo.
Scooby-Doo. Scooby-Doo is one of my favorite series of all times. I actually have the first 3 original seasons from 1973. So
Yes.
I bought them. I had to, dude. They're great. Those are some of my
No wonder
favorite
you're a damn
cartoons
hippie.
ever. Oh, shush. They're great. Like,
The best mock I've ever seen of it
I'll be back.
was, what was it? Futurama did
Oh,
like
yeah.
a joke of it. And they did the animation perfectly.
Well, they had
like, it
Supernatural.
captured the essence. Yeah, but they
Supernatural
captured
did
the
it.
essence of
That was fun.
But they were like, Shaggy fell and broke his arm. He's like, dude, what the fuck? This actually fucking hurts. Like,
Yeah.
what the shit is this? Like, cause they get hurt all the time, but
Yeah.
they're cartoon characters. He's like, this really fucking, it's broken.
Right.
Like,
Yeah.
I was like, oh my god.
Yeah. When you put it into perspective like that, it's kind of fun. But another great horror franchise series was the Texas Chainsaw Massacre. I really enjoy those. Those are fun, for slasher films. And that kind of series of hillbilly horror, I think, is a lot of Texas based. Like a lot of people, like the hillbillies and stuff. I don't know.
About House of a Thousand Corpses.
Yeah,
by Rob
that's a
Zombie.
good one. Rob Zombie's made some bangers. He's actually made some really good movies. He's so successful at what he does. Rob Zombie's such a cool artist. I love his music as well as, his movies. He's really well accomplished as a person.
More human than human, more human. Yeah, his
Yeah.
music. My dad went and saw him. He said it's one of the best shows he's ever seen.
Hell
He's
yeah.
like Alice Cooper times 10. It's just they're so theatrical
Yeah,
and it
it's his-
performs so well.
He's so good. I really enjoy his music, but yeah, back to horror, and that's actually a good point. Is like, you get to see different directors now. I think you're seeing a lot more freedom with directing than you did back then. It was like you're very limited to what the categories could be. This is what I was trying to get to earlier with horror movies. Like, you're very limited on what you could actually work with, because at the time horror movies had, like, we had the slasher films, right? Or that was kind of the cliche. Slasher films were pretty big, so and then you had The Thing kind of opened up a lot more room for, oh my
Creature
god,
horror.
creature horror. That was important. So, and then I think now there's so much diversity with the horror franchise that you have so many different possible genres. Clown horror, just horror, how it's evolved throughout time. It's kind of weird to think about, what we were scared of before and then up to now. But
Well, see, now we are able to take the gloves off, right? Like, people have
oh
seen,
yeah,
like, I don't know. that we can truly find this stuff scary anymore because, people wouldn't think about this stuff, right? Like, you know, the big murder, like people used to leave their doors unlocked and shit, and then these serial killers started coming out, and it was on the news,
Yeah.
and it was just crazy. These crazy serial killers came out, and they started the horror franchise, right?
Pretty
And
much.
then you've got now we're getting into the CGI is better.
Oh, it's crazy.
We've got more resources,
Yeah.
so now you get into the grotesque, realistic stuff where it's like they can chop off somebody's arm and it looks more believable.
Oh
And
yeah.
we hit a point where there's enough practical and CGI that it was believable still. But
Right.
now I think we've hit a point where it's just like, there's not really
Epic.
much scary. What's
Because we've come
scary is
numb
the
to
fact
it.
that I can go on TikTok and watch people kill each other in Russia and Ukraine.
Let's not
That's
bring that
fucking
up,
scary.
Austin, please, for the podcast. We are live, and I don't want to get political on the show. Let's please not bring that up.
No, I'm not getting into that topic. It's just
I
He
know.
was just setting a base
I
example of
I
ideology, which we get,
I
and
think
we all know that we're not going to step into that. It's not
Right.
yeah, no, but
our business to discuss. It just what
I
he's
think
trying to
what's
say to get.
I think
Yeah.
what's scary now is now everyone has a phone, right? So I think now what's scary is you can watch real terrible things because
Yeah.
But I mean, it
it's not
always
fake anymore.
existed. Like
Right.
from the point that
Well, look
I'm
at
watching like 1998 Law and Order to
look at
Criminal Minds, people
yeah.
will do obscenities and sell them
Fucking
like deep
terrible
within
things. Oh, the
the
dark
dark
web.
web.
Oh,
Like
the
if
dark web.
you,
Ugh.
But now it's
Don't even go
accessible to
down there.
everyone. You
Yeah.
don't have to go down
it
that rabbit
always
hole
was. You
anymore.
just had to know where to go.
Yeah.
But
It's
see, now
what
it's
he's
popping
saying
up
is
in
it's a
places
lot more.
where
It's a
I'm not
lot
looking
more.
for it. It just appears. I'm not
Right.
You could
actively
Google
seeking it.
something, and anyone, if they know a word, a 7-year-old could look up an inappropriate term and find a definition and examples.
Yeah. But that's
Mainstream media
just.
has become awful with things to the public that has become desensitized to it. Exactly.
Well, yeah,
Yeah.
that's what I was saying. We're desensitized to it. But I don't, you know, people just, what, I don't know.
I think now horror movies are more about people doing terrible things. It's not a creature. It's not a supernatural entity.
It's
It's not.
psychological horror more than
Well,
anything
Yeah.
because knowing what people are capable of within themselves.
That's a good point. That is a really good point because look at some of the biggest horror movies in the past 10 years. A lot of them have been one single entity or person doing some really fucked up shit in a way.
Like
Yeah.
like Don't Breathe, that
Uh,
movie.
Yep,
Yeah,
that's a good
one
one.
singular character. The Saw movies, perfect
Yeah.
example. Saw.
I mean, Insidious, Annabelle has the doll. Sinister has Magul, the demon
They're
who harvests the
centered
child's
around a single
souls.
person, but no, he's talking more about what people do. Saw is a perfect example
Well, yeah.
of that. Saw is fucked. I can't really watch that shit because that's a series that for its time, holy shit, that was
I only
Or
saw a
like,
piece of
what
one
the
of them,
fuck is
and
this?
it's
Yeah.
still really just.
I
Yeah.
saw a really good one, and it was I don't remember the name, but the premise was there was this pastor who would exorcise people live stream like we're doing now.
Yeah.
And he would live stream it, but it was faked.
Mm.
But for whatever reason, I don't remember why, this episode was real. And the devil himself used his platform to
The cleansing
speak
hour.
the cleansing hour, and he goes out and he starts taking over this set.
The
But
Cleansing Hour is a
Oh, yeah.
2019 horror film about a staged television exorcism that takes a nefarious turn.
Huh.
it goes from a joke to very real, and now they have to start like hurting
Yeah.
themselves and
Oh,
stuff like
yeah.
that in order to save this girl, because the girl doing it was one of the guys like girlfriends, and they were all friends.
Oh
now they have
shit! No,
incentive
yeah,
because it's
yeah,
their
yeah. No,
friend.
I've heard about that movie. Yeah, yeah. There's been some good ones. Actually,
There's a lot of ones we especially forget about until it comes back from the depths of our mind.
do you like Foo Fighters, Austin?
Yeah.
So they just released a movie, and I don't know if you've heard about it. It's a horror movie, but it's a
Did
comedy.
they really?
Yeah. So it's great. It's fucking hilarious. If you like Foo Fighters, you gotta watch it. You gotta love it. It's Dave Grohl.
It sounds like a date movie, comedy horror films.
It's funny because
or
it's
that
like
kind of thing.
you have one of your favorite rock bands. So the premise of the movie, this is basically without spoiling it because it's in the trailer. The premise of the
never seen
movie is they go to they rent this house in the middle of nowhere, and it's this like old mansion. This is just
Studio
came out.
666.
Yeah, it just came out. So they get this house and it's haunted. And Dave Grohl, they're going out there in the middle of nowhere to try and get some peace and write this album, right? So it starts out like that. But then as it progresses, Dave Grohl becomes possessed and then just tries to kill the whole band. It's really funny,
Yeah, it showed. It was like, this is starred by the Foo Fighters.
It's funny. Yeah,
I've never seen it, but I'd like to watch it. I love the Foo Fighters. They're my brother's favorite band when he was little.
But it's funny to just kind of put that on it. That's another genre. You could take like celebrities and start putting them in horror, and like big celebrities now you could put in horror movies, and I think that'd be kind of fun. But I don't know. The horror genre is
or the Scarlet Hill, the one that had the guy that played Loki in it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Or Scarlet Mansion or whatever that was, where like the brother and the sister were in love, and then somebody comes to visit them and he falls in love with her, so the sister tries to murder her.
So Silent Hill?
Yeah, Tom Hiddleston. No, I never saw the Silent Hill movies, but I think this one was called Scarlet Mansion or something.
So let me tell you.
Silent Hill was a game series.
Yes, let me tell you how I found Silent Hill. Because I'd heard of the game series and shit, but I'd never seen the movies. And so I was in
Crimson Peak.
I was in VR chat. And I went and joined off one of my friends. And have you ever gone to a world and your friends already left? So you spawn in. Yeah. I went in there and this movie started playing. I'm like, oh, I got nothing to do. I'm going to sit here and watch this movie. No matter what plays, I'll just watch it. Whether, unless it was in a language I didn't understand. But, so Silent Hill comes on. I don't know what the movie is. I have no idea.
Really?
No. So it comes on, and I never watched it. And then as it's, because I never really paid attention to the games at the time. This is early on, right? I'd never really gotten into this, but the movie starts coming on, and I'm like, what the fuck? And then it starts getting crazy. I'm like, holy shit, what is this movie? I was blown away because, number one, I was high, which should never watch a horror movie when you're as high as I usually get because it'll fuck you up in the head. So, bruh, one of my favorite movies of all time.
Throw one out there because we already talked a little bit about Silence of the Lambs, but Hellraiser.
Oh.
Pinhead.
Yeah, Pinhead.
That movie definitely did some damage to me.
Yeah, that's a very interesting movie. He's pretty great.
I like to think of all the killers that have come into Dead by Daylight via licensing. And when you think of those we have Pinhead, there's Freddy Krueger, Friday the 13th.
Oh yeah, the video game characters now. Isn't that crazy?
Yeah. Obviously Pyramid Head from Silent Hill. Yeah. I believe the girl from the what is it? The Ring. The girl from The Ring, The Grudge.
The Grudge
is now in there. Obviously, Nemesis from Resident Evil is in there, and so are Jill and Leon's characters, and so is their alternate for Chris and Claire Redfield. Like, a lot of those are becoming... I just thought it was really interesting. Also, there was the Demogorgon.
Yeah.
If you got them while they were licensed to Silent Hill, the Demogorgon was one of those.
It's good
From
stuff.
Stranger Things, which I never watched.
All right. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we gotta call it here because... recording, we can only record up to so much time, unfortunately, because audio files are a bitch. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for watching the show. Please, again, we had a lot of chatters today, so thank you guys. This was fun.
Thank you, Hito, Gigi, and Zaki. I love all of you.
Love you all. Make sure you tell people about the show. It's great. Word of mouth. We're gonna try and get some big guests on. I need to do 4 more shows for our podcast.
For our 420 show to have it be our 150th show.
Yeah. yeah, so we're gonna have a few extra, so look forward to that. And then our 420 episode's gonna be lit. We got some big names coming on. I'm excited.
Boop, boop.
We probably will have to cut back on the staff just because of how many people we're gonna have on. So we'll see. Who's gonna be there and who's not. Because you guys can watch. You gotta be there. I mean, this is gonna be. You gotta join us. It's you could probably.
You're going to expand the table.
Yeah, it's gonna be fun. I think we'll have enough. I think I counted it out. We should be fine with it. If all 4 of us hosts show up and then we have our guests, it should be a full table. So it's going to be a lot of fun. Anyway, look forward to that. Again, I am DJing on the 30th of this month. So we're doing the big festival in VR chat. So if you want to join on me, if you're friends with me in VR chat, join on me on the 30th. We're going to be hanging out. It's going to be pretty wild. Big event. I'm excited to see the world and everything. It's going to be lit. So, thanks for watching, ladies and gentlemen. Make sure you follow us on all our socials, please. The JH Show on YouTube. If you want to watch all these episodes back, you can. And, thank you for watching and being here, and we'll see you next week. Bye-bye.
See y'all.